the evolution, because we see so much in YouTube now.
Exactly.
How has the evolution of Jiu-Jitsu changed your Jiu-Jitsu?
I think the luck I have, compared with some of the new generation, I can tell I'm from the beginning with Carlos Gracie, Helio Gracie, all these guys. I have luck to start from there all the way to today. That is my power. That's what I have, who nobody can take it or nobody can copy. I have the relationship with the beginning, the history, the steps who get the sport changing. Before the UFC, after the UFC, I was all in these steps and I was right there. You understand? And that what gave me a chance to go back to time, to show the techniques, to go any time I'm still learning. I still a white belt in my mind who never stop learning, and I keep learning from the new generation, what's fresh, what's new. I come with my students, I try update. It's very important to keep follow the evolution, but never forget about the past.
Right.
What I feel good, I'm on the past too. I have the past and the future. That's perfect for me.
So, you matriculated from Carlos Jr.
Yes.
Right? So there was a point where you went from Carlos Jr. to Halls. And I know everyone's asked so many questions about Halls, right? But what changed in your Jiu-Jitsu from the matriculation from Carlos Jr. to Halls?
No, actually was the opposite.
It was the opposite. Halls
Yes.
first, then Carlos.
Halls was the main guy. Carlos was under Halls. And me was right after. You know what I mean? I was under Carlos. Basically, Halls is the general. Carlos came right under him, the second general, and I was a soldier. And basically, when Carlos died, Carlos Grace came the new general. And I was his first soldier. And basically, today we grow so much, we break in different parts. Like example, Carlos is always going to be my main coach. For me, he's one of the best coaches on the planet. He's the guy who is very wise as a coach. He's a guy who knows everything about Jiu-Jitsu. He not only know, but he know how to guide you. The trick of Carlos is Carlos Grace Jr., when I have the experience to learn from him, he's the guy who know how to put in the right direction. That's the most difficult to find. Have a lot of guys can go and teach you techniques, this and that, but the guy who guides you, you want to be the best, follow this.
The path.
The path. And he's a master and genius on that. Another great coach I have was Colin Gracie.
Okay.
Colin Gracie was the youngest brother. But what I love about Colin Gracie, he teach me about to be wise on the street. How to fight on the street. He used Jiu-Jitsu to defend yourself. I never met a coach like Colin Gracie about how wise you can use Jiu-Jitsu to defend yourself on the street. Because grow up in Rio, you have to be wise. Rio is a city who is so much life over there.
The energy, right?
So much.
Different energies.
Yes, so much alive, so much fire on the streets in Rio. You have to be wise because you walk in the wrong steps, you can end up dead. It's good to know Jiu-Jitsu because Jiu-Jitsu come some tools for you to survive. I think everything I learned from Crowley is this wise in the street who no better coach than Colin Gracie.
Is it because he got into a lot of street fights?
I think he grew up on the streets and grew up in Rio. He know the smell of the street. He know how to think on the street.
Sure.
In situations. Like example, in cities like Rio, I remember we go up always 3 or 4 guys. We never go out one guy. Understand? Because you never know. You always end up have a little problem or here and there. You have a group.
Right.
That group always protect your back. That what I think was very important growing up in Rio. I learned, and you have to read where you go. There's a matter that you can be the best fighter in the world, but you go third world countries and things like that. You have to be wise. You know what I mean? It's no fight going to defend against bullets.
And one word or one look can start something. Right?
You never know what's
The
going to
intention.
happen. It's almost start a fire, you don't know how big the fire is going to get. You have to be ready for it. And I feel lucky to have a coach like Crawling to give me all these amazing points who helped my life growing up in Rio. I think Crawling Grace, for me, is one of the best coaches in that department I ever seen.
You know what? I don't know if you have the answer to this, but I'm really curious because I love the Brazilian culture. For some reason, here in LA, in the hills, that's where the nice homes are. The lower end people stay in the lower part. But it's the reverse for Brazil. Is there
Brazil, imagine like this. America divided in three: low, middle, and high class. The middle is a big group here.
Sure.
Growing up in Rio was not much middle class. It's low class, high class.
That's it.
What happened, the bigger population is the low class. What happened, they fight for find place in the south part of Rio or the south parts of the major cities to jobs, because they come from the small cities to go for the big cities to find jobs, because no jobs, you know what I mean? That's where you can make the money. What happened, where they live? They live in the place they can find a cheaper place to live. That's when they get overpopulated on the mountains, because they have a lot of, we call the favelas or the poor areas.
Sure.
And they are grouped there. You know what I mean? It's amazing because Rio is some of the best mountains with the best view is on the favela. But because it's right there, rich and poor together. You know what I mean? In South Rio. But it's getting, everything is getting better in Brazil. You know what I mean? You go to phases here and there, but Brazil keep growing, get better and better. I believe in the future for Brazil is going to be wonderful. Yeah.
So let me ask on a personal note.
Yes.
Not that this is about passion, what you do, but let's just say we'll talk about income. If you could match exactly the dollar amount that you make here in the U.S., would you move back?
I agree with you 100%. I'm going to tell my vision.
Sure.
Doesn't matter where you go, the fire is inside you.
Right.
You can go to Japan, you go to Brazil, go to U.S., this and that. You have the desire to success. It's the fire who make you a world champion. The fire who make you a successful father. The fire who make you a successful business guys in different areas. Whatever you do, you have to love and commit yourself 110%. I believe you're going to accomplish. But the difference in America is well organized. Example, right. I come over here, I plan something for 10 years from now, all the steps is easy. Like you go to Brazil, you know what I mean? You plan something like that, the steps change all the time because the economy change, things change. It happen, you have to be more wise to adjust quick. Another way, it get a little bit harder to reach to a plateau you're looking for. The ability the Brazilians create to be successful in Brazil is the ability to change accord with what happened in the country. It's good to have both. I think America for me is a paradise. I love LA so much. I love US. I think I feel every day I wake up happy to be here, sure. To have the opportunity. Chuck Norris gave me to come here. Because the reason I'm here, because Chuck Norris.
Well, yeah. People, you've told that story, but for our listening and watching
Chuck Norris is the reason the Machado's in the US. Chuck Norris said, you're not going back to Brazil. I will help, and we're going to open academy together. I went to Chuck, I don't have money to open an academy. I said, I already open. I have a mall. I put your place over there. You don't have to pay for 2 years. I was like, are you serious? And my lawyer is going to help your papers. That's how I end up here. I said, opportunity like that from Chuck Norris, I have to accept. Because Chuck Norris is a guy, imagine like you grow up watching Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee. You come to America, son, like Chuck Norris is your friend. You understand? It's
right,
like
absolutely.
It's so amazing. I say, man, you my hero growing up. Now this guy is my friend as a human being. And that's amazing because it's a trip, because sometimes I look into a human being, and sometimes I look to him to Chuck Norris. Human being, the Chuck Norris you grew up.
Switches,
it's like
right?
It's like, wow, man, what a trip. Yeah, I felt very lucky. Yeah, I'm so happy Chuck Norris kind of kind of help us to start the life here, and my brothers come little by little to help me. Yeah, I think it was amazing. I'm very thankful for Chuck Norris for that.
No Chuck Norris, no Machado in the U.S. then.
No Machados here.
I wanted to ask you also.
Chuck Norris is the pioneer in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
In America, right?
Chuck Norris helped the Gracies, helped the Machado. He's one of the big force people don't know to push Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to grow in America.
And a lot of people for that time in the 80s, late 80s, mid 80s, they stick to one art. They're not open-minded, right?
Exactly. I think even Brazil, I remember Brazil have a big rival, Jiu-Jitsu, or the martial arts, was not together.
Right.
I think what made everything come closer was after the UFC. Because UFC, you have to be not just Jiu-Jitsu, not just striker, you have to mix everything. That's why I call MMA mixed martial arts.
Right.
And that helped the Jiu-Jitsu guy, hey, for me to fight MMA, now I have to learn how to punch. And vice versa, now everybody mix. And what's amazing, because Brazil did a good transition, we have thousands of academies in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, now do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and mixed martial arts. That's why Brazil manufactures a lot of good fighters, because have thousands and thousands of academies there.
Speaking of the mixing of the martial arts, right? There's a video out there. Your name was mentioned underneath, but I could only see images of like Helioside. There was a video of you guys going to a judo club, and you guys mopped everyone up. Respectfully to the judo people,
no,
but you guys mopped
example,
everyone
judo
up.
in Brazil is a part of even the coach in Brazil. Judo in Brazil today have a very big judo community because Brazil is the second biggest colony of Japanese outside Japan. In São Paulo area have, you know what I mean, the city there, little Tokyo, everything, but the judo come from that. Even Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu comes from the Japanese. The culture, the colonization there. And when they came here, didn't have much to compete. Yeah, I remember a friend, one of my students named David Meyer, came to me and said, Rigan, why you guys don't, I take you guys to a judo? He said, okay, I love to do it for fun. Let me take to this championship. They put this small championship. And something like I go over there, I'm a high level class Jiu-Jitsu guy, it was not a problem. Like a tune-up. I said, oh, good.
Sure.
The next event have 3 more of the fighters. They brought the best guys who have the US because they know we're going to compete. I go beat everybody. After this, they start bringing the #1 guys from Japan in judo. And that's when they say, wait a minute, these competitors start getting better and better. And I start, you know what I mean, to a point I fight the #2 in Japan, the heavyweight. And it was an amazing match. I started playing for him on the ground, but he weighed 270 pounds, but small guy, #2. But I did one mistake, overconfidence. Because I've been beating everybody so easy at the time, so like I gave a chance to play around. Let me try a little judo for fun. Big mistake. I didn't take him serious. He come, blah, throw me like I never seen before. I said, man, I shake his hand, good throw, because a long time somebody don't throw me that hard on the ground.
Right.
But it's a good wake up. That's good because I think the competition for me is the fun part. I train hard, the competition is the fun. When they try different styles like that, because they're thinking about how judo can help my jiu-jitsu, how sambo can help my jiu-jitsu, how wrestling can help my jiu-jitsu. Because in general, everything's grappling, but different rules. But you always learn something you can bring back for your style, who can help to improve. Yeah, I think that's what I learned from Ross Grace. Ross Grace was the first Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy who started bridge other styles to bring to jiu-jitsu.
He also trained in Sambo, right?
He trained in Sambo. That's why I started competing Sambo, because when I came to US, I said, Paul Hollis used to compete Sambo. I started asking questions, where is Sambo here? And suddenly I ended up winning the World Championship in Europe. I won every competition here in Sambo, nationals, Pan Americans. It's something like that. Why the next challenge for you is to go to the world, and the World Cup, the World Games, the events like that. And a lot of the events in Europe, I have a chance to compete 3. One took bronze, silver, end up winning gold. After winning the gold, I said, I accomplished what I need.
Sure.
Remind judo a lot. Sambo is a little bit different, the rules, the points, but it's like judo. It's like, but they can do some things on the leg, which is the opposite. But in Sambo, it's not allowed to choke. It's allowed to do legs and arm bars. In judo, it's the opposite. You're able to do chokes and arm bars, but no legs. It's kind of almost like Sambo remind a little bit more mix of wrestling and judo together.
Right.
Judo is more pure. Judo throws, the posture, even the new rules, they try to bring more the classic judo, the big throws, because they start kind of look like more like a wrestling dirty throws, and they said, no, stop the dirty throws, let's focus to bring the traditional judo, the rules. And I think it's good, they try to preserve the sport. No?
I wanted to ask you in regards to UFC rules. I asked Professor Wheeler this, so I wanted to get your opinion. On the stomp,
Okay.
on the inverted kick to the knee.
Okay.
A lot of stand-up fighters don't want that. What's your opinion on it?
I think everything is evolution. From the beginning, when there no rules, no this, now have weight classes and it come like a sport. It come to a point like you have to think about not to hurt the athletes, but the athletes show the ability in strike, kicks, things like that. Same like you do a spine, neck cranks. It's going to hurt the athlete.
Sure.
You don't want the athlete, or some techniques like the athlete on the ground stamp the head. That's not class. Not I think you kind of more like a brawler street fighter. And I think this on the knee is the same. Like sometimes you make the rules more clean. And I like that. We did that in the sports Jiu-Jitsu, and I think they try to do the same in MMA. I agree on that. I think more clean you put is good for the sport.
Okay. So what about inverted heel hooks?
I think heel hook is good for MMA.
Oh, okay.
Not for sport Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because the number of injuries.
Sure.
Because the whole chess game is on the ground. And a lot of people try heel hooks. When you feel you're going to hurt your knee, I think it's a technique you grab all the time. You try to preserve the athletes, pull this out. But now in Abu Dhabi competitions, I don't know, gi events, they kind of bring it back a little bit. I agree. I think it's good to have no gi. But with the gi, I recommend to fight more clean because the sport clean, you know what I mean? For preserve the health of the athletes. No?
Right. Well, would you say the inverted heel hook is more damaging than the regular?
I think both.
Both
is damaging because you hurt your foot and after this hurt your knees. Depending how you're going to twist.
Okay. So with your brother, Jean-Jacques, he has a sweep over-under style. And yours develop, it's interesting because you raise the same family, but their personalities change. Your personality was derived off pressure. How did that come about?
It's pretty simple. You have the elephant, you have the rat. I'm a big guy. I want to put the weight in people. Like an elephant. Come over here, buddy. You know what I mean? My brother is like a cat.
Right.
He will move around like all over the person. It's good to have both. But he is good on that. He's moved like you know what I mean? Like a rat, like all over the place. I'm good in what I do. I fight for every inch. It's two different games, but I feel bigger guys like my game better. I think smaller guys adjust to his game better. But it's good to have both, you know what I mean? Because when you become a teacher, you teach everybody. And I use a lot of the techniques my brother liked to do to teach the smaller guys. And my brothers do the same. He uses a lot of the techniques I do for heavyweight to teach his guys. It's kind of, we help each other, consult, we say what's better for bigger guys, what's better for smaller guys. We always talk to each other. That's why I have this great relationship. I have my brothers to consult them all the time.
Sure.
For guide me, you know what I mean, what they think about some of the positions.
So this is really big and hasn't been asked in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community. I don't know why. When it comes to the Machados, you guys probably keep the controversy in-house, or there's barely any. Why do you think you guys have zero controversy out there, where with the Gracies, it's like there's always a faction? There's the Carlson Gracie side, there's the Helio side, there's the Carlos side. How did you guys manage to?
I explain why. When you grow up, was one bag. Was Carlos Gracie, Helio Gracie, everybody under this supervision.
Sure.
Okay? When you come to America, the older guys die. We kind of lose the guiding a little bit. Who is the mentor of these 200 guys under them, this group? Because we lost some guidance a little bit, and some like you put inside this group power, fame,
sure,
elements like that, which the nature of the human being, like, whoa, I want this for me. The other ones, oh no, I want this for me. And base, they say, well, let's break, because I want the same, you want the same, and it start break for lack of guidance. And I think
a known leader.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of leaders, but everybody the same age at the time, and it create different groups, different faction. Which, when I saw that, I said the power is the brotherhood, the family, this beautiful culture created by the pioneers like Carlos and Helio. Something like I start thinking like, how can I change that with my brothers? Because this is gonna happen to us. Things gonna get right between us, and I didn't want to lose that, because at least in my world, I wish it still have, because it's the most beautiful thing in that family.
Of course.
To be around this group when it was so united was the most beautiful honor and pleasure to be in their group. To break in little pieces like that, it's kind of sad, because we still have that kind of the learning we have from the masters, Carlos and Helio, but I wish everybody was together. But because the evolution and things happen, we break in different groups. And when I went to my brother, I said, let's do one thing. We need to create a culture between us. The first thing, what's the problem we can have? Ego. Who's the best? Let's not have the best. Let's put the ego outside. Okay, we don't have ego. Now, we maybe work together, but maybe not. But whatever you do, I will support you. And you support me. And basically, we're not working 100% together, but we motivate each other. We support each other. When they need my brothers, they show up. I'm here. What do you need? That kind of relationship and respect, and leave the ego outside, support each other, doesn't matter what, is what help us to still together after 20 years.
That's amazing. Did you experience any resentment from the other Gracies as you guys were being introduced?
But I love all the people. Nah? I think I love my cousins so much, but I think you put everybody in one room, it's going to be a new war game.
Attention, right.
Because it's so much power in one room. Today everybody have his own thinking ideas. I think I want to do this. My other cousin thinking I want to do this. And how you get everybody to think the same way, I don't know how. I wish I know the solution, because I will love to have everybody together, to work together. But how you can get everybody think the same way? I think that's the big question. You know what I mean? I hope one day somebody find the solution. But I love my cousins. I have so much respect and love. And I hope the best for each one of my family.
One more question.
Yes, sir.
In regards to training in Jiu-Jitsu, do you find it that it's easier for white belts to move up or more difficult to move up? Because everyone knows Jiu-Jitsu now, right? But for me, like classic example, I'm a white belt, so I'll put it into perspective. I have the hardest time moving towards getting blue belt? I feel like the white belts nowadays
It's pretty
are amazing.
simple. Pretty simple. Think like this. You're on the bottom of the stairs.
With the bubble gum.
Over here is the top.
Right.
But you have a stairs you're going to climb. Everybody come around you, the coach, the friends. You have to use these guys to help you to go up the stairs. But your goal is to get to the top. But you is going to be the guy who's going to walk. I can show you techniques. I can motivate you. I can put you around by the best guys in the world next to you. But it's not going to be up to me or up to them. It's going to be up to you to climb the stairs. Everything is a challenge. I remember Carlos Grace used to tell me, the academy is a small world, which outside is the bigger world, but it's the same thinking. When you're here, for you to get your blue belt, is the consistent. They come to the class, do your best every class, try be success every second you're inside the academy, because this power, the exercise you build here is going to build here and here. That's what you need outside. When they get anybody to train here, come and show the techniques. It's easy. Like you go to YouTube today, you're going to learn 1,000 techniques. But to get somebody strong here and help that person to come a success in whatever they want in life, that's when they believe you come a teacher.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Thank you.